But USD CAD not really the one that's showing me the strength that I would want to see to the downside. Look at USDJPY, right? USDJPY is showing bearishness since last Wednesday. So I would want to pay attention to the asset that is the leadership asset in that direction. So August the 20th, 2023. So this week coming up, we don't have anything crazy. We do have home sales on Tuesday, but not even until 10 a.m. So like really not until London close on Tuesday do we have any real high impact or any news events at all. I mean, the whole beginning of this week looks very lethargic. So again, not going to be in a rush. Wednesday, we have 8 a.m. building permits, a couple medium impact news during London, but 8 a.m. some news events going on, 9:45 and 10 a.m. So Wednesday looks like the most fun-filled day. And then we have London session. Oh, Thursday, we have some 8:30 news. And okay, cool. So we got two high impact news drivers on Thursday. And then Friday, we have London session, Euro news, and the event of the week, Chairman Powell speaking. And we know every time Chairman Powell speaks, he going to make that market jump, right? Every time he speaks, he going to make that market jump. So that's going to be on Friday. So just paying attention to this as we go through our analysis for today. You know, the economic calendar just kind of, it just seems a little bit, light until about Wednesday New York session. So I'll be aware that potentially if we are going to see expansion this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the high of the week or the low of the week until later on into the week, right? Normally we would expect it on a Tuesday. Sometimes it'll be Monday, like last week. We saw the low of the week on start open on Monday. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it come a little bit later into the week, closer to this Wednesday Wednesday New York session, just to keep that in mind. And again, I go a little bit more in detail in that recap of last week from Friday, so you can check that out. Now, again, back to our charts, we have reached our daily buy side objective, which was July's highs right here. And not only did we reach that objective, but I got to start being aware, like it's been straight bullishness since price was in this discount. You feel me? Price came below the lows of the year, right? So this is right here. You can see the beginning of January was right here. Right. So that was the open of this year. This was the low. And we had a strong drop below that, which just seems like a sweep on sell stops, right? Big money sell stops, not ours. And they swept down below that. And then we just saw bullishness for 5 weeks straight from that discount price level. And so now we see price coming up into this premium, coming above these highs here from July. So I'm being aware that given that we just came into we're trading in a premium, we've traded above a liquidity level in a premium, I'm being aware that we could see a pullback. Now, when I think, okay, cool, where could we potentially see a pullback to, right? Overall, still see price going up above those highs here. But right now, if I'm going to be prepared for a potential pullback or ideal buys, if it happens very early in the week, if we see a pullback very early in the week, then I'm looking at this weekly order block right here, all right? So we can see, boom, weekly order block right here. So that's that last down candle before price just actually took off. All right. Now, this, we can take into account this. Of course, that's going to be the monthly order block right there. It's going to be that high at 102.92. So yeah, that's about this same level right here. So I'm gonna keep an eye out when we hit this, but ideally I'm gonna be paying attention to that level. So 102.92 and 102.27 if we don't see them respect this high here at 102.92. All right, so as shallow a retracement as 102.92, but as deep as down into 102.30. But I wouldn't want to see price trade any lower than that if we're gonna be, as I want to see them expand higher than that. So that's what I'm kind of paying attention to on dollar this week. Again, yes, I am still bullish overall on dollar, but we did just come above a lot of like interesting price action, right? Those highs, you look to the left, you got this previous order block we just traded into. Like it is a lot for them to not sell off, you feel me? So I'm keeping that in mind. And when I come down to this 4-hour time frame, and I think I can get rid of this premium discount, you guys get what's going on. So when I come down to this lower time frame and we say this is that buy side liquidity, we just came up above that and we're seeing some consolidation go down right now, some back and forth. We saw a run above that here on Friday, and then we seeing them trade away, right, and start to respect these higher levels. So that's kind of what I'm paying attention to, is are we going to see price respect premium levels? And if they are going to respect premium levels, like how they swept this high, traded lower, then after sweeping that high, they left this like last up candle here, and we seen them boom, respect that here, expand off that. So now are we going to see them respect that propulsion block pretty much? Like, are we going to see that? So this is the type of things that I'll be paying attention to going into tomorrow before I do my prep for tomorrow with the guild, whether or not we see them respect these levels going, through Monday. And if we see them respect these levels, then yeah, I'm going to expect some level of bearishness. And if it's going to be levels of bearishness, I'm going to expect to see them disrespecting these lows, right? Like, see them break past these lows, these lows, these lows, and down into what is our higher time frame attention, right? Which is this weekly order block. All right. So ultimately, if I want bearishness, to see them come here. But again, we said that the first level to pay attention to is that 102.92 level, which we also have some interesting double bottoms right there, right? You got some low sell side liquidity right there, right? Because this is about 102.92 here, and then you got those double bottoms. So any potential move towards that would make sense. But at the end of the day, this is just with the idea in mind that we see them continue up to this next level of daily attraction, that daily buy side liquidity. So it's just going to be a matter of responding and reacting to that. Now, something that caught my attention for my study, and I'll get into that in a second, but I'll get into which pairs. But if I look at the opposite of the dollar, right, the treasury bonds, T-bonds market, that should be going the opposite direction of the dollar. T-bonds also just came down below a key level, right? So we see these treasury bonds they sold off below the lows of September over here into these rejection blocks. They still have the overall lows of 2022 to target. So again, that's more sell side objective, and if T-bonds is going lower, that means dollar goes higher, right? So they still have a degree of sell side on this monthly they can trade down into, but they are also coming into a higher time frame key level that they've traded off of multiple times before. Like, even just looking on this monthly time frame, you see from all the way back here in, what is that, like 2010, you can see this last down candle before these highs forever, right? This last down candle, and I moved that all the way out. They accelerated here, traded back to it one time in 2011, and then we never saw this level again until they reclaimed that order block right here in 2022. And so now they've already tested this once. They've already tested it twice. They could test it again, but it's a bit of a weaker level. So that's the reason that, you know, we see them end off the week there last week. But ultimately, I'm looking to see them now go for that next level of discount, which is, I wish it would stop. Okay, cool. Right, which is, like I said, these lows of 2022, right? All these are 10-year lows almost, the lowest point we saw in 10 years on bonds market. So looking at this on the daily time frame, we do have a volume imbalance here that they could trade back to if we see any bit of like a retracement. Got this little gap action that we could see them come back up to at 121.17. And if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you'll notice that they dropped down to that higher time frame level we talked about, which is here. And then we did see a expansion type of time higher, right? And then we got this last down move right here, and they came back to that one good time. And then we saw a bit of displacement from that. So again, today's Sunday. I don't have to execute. That's the good thing about Sunday, is that we can have all these outlooks, but based off the key levels I point out today, we just get to see, do we respect these discount levels going into Monday? And if we do, then we know what to pay attention to, right? Maybe a potential retracement up to here. But if we go into Monday and we see T-bonds continue to be aggressive against this level, then yeah, I'm going to continue to pay attention to the sell side, which means dollar is going to probably go higher faster, you know, higher sooner rather than later. All right. So that's the idea. You guys can watch that back a couple times as far as those guys go. And getting into our pairs, Euro USD reached our objective, right? Our higher time frame objective from last week, which was the sell side on July here. And it's the lows of July right here. And we saw Euro USD did go ahead and sweep below the open of this candle here. We do have the wick down here still that they haven't traded to, which is kind of a bit of a double bottom. So if they want to continue to be aggressive, then I know where to pay attention to for a continued draw on liquidity. But like I said, you know, we want to pay attention to the bodies of the candle first, then to the lows. And so given that I already seen them come down below the bodies of those candles there, they have already traded down into a key level. And there's a lot of buy side here that has been left intact, right? A lot of buy side highs, a lot of highs here left intact. A lot of highs here left intact. You feel me? A lot of highs just left intact. And I talked about this on the recap more. Like I said, definitely check that out. But if I am to see a potential retracement on Euro USD, I would love to position myself for long-term swings. About, where are we now? I believe it was up in here. Yeah, I think it was up in that level. Was it on the daily time frame? Yeah, I think it was up in this level here that I was pointing that out on the daily. That fair value gap that we have up there. So if we are going to see that pullback on dollar, then that's what I'm paying attention to as far as positioning for more sell-offs. But again, everything that I'm talking about as far as dollar pulling back is exactly what I said. It's just a pullback. I still overall expect dollar to continue to these high side objectives. You know, even fundamentally, when you look at what's going on around the world, like there's a lot of people betting against the dollar, and I love I love the contradiction.
If you're a professional or an entrepreneur focused on making trading a reliable stream of income, whether you're working in your job full time or you're focused on running your business or both, and you just need a few more answers, click the link in our description for access to our free market prep mini course. All right, we're constantly updating this mini course with free value that we wish we would have had when we started. Whether you're a complete beginner or you're on your journey and just looking to get funded, I've been trading for 5 years now, profitable for over 2 years, funded with over $100,000 in prop firms. I know what it's like. All right, I've been there, done that, failed in so many different ways, and so we're constantly updating that with value. Make sure you click that link below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Let's get back to it.
So that part, and looking at GU actually reached this sell side. Yeah, you agreed. Feel me? Now, GU actually reached the sell side on July. Since the first week of August, GU swept down the sell side here. And then seeing how GU then again swept that sell side here, I just want to take into account that they did leave some rather suspicious relatively equal lows here. Rather suspicious. However, again, with what I'm talking about on the dollar and just being a contrarian, right? I do trade with the trend for the most part, but I do enjoy being a contrarian, right? And just like that just means contradicting what's going on in price action. And again, dollars at a key level in premium, showing signs of a reversal. GBPUSD is diverging from the dollar. Swept sell side is showing signs of potential strength. You look at EURGBP, still showing signs of bearishness, right? EURGBP going for this sell side. EURGBP still hasn't delivered to the sell side here, right? So even if EURUSD doesn't like make a crazy buy up, EURUSD could hold in place, stagnate a little bit, because if euro is losing strength, then euro should be selling. But if the dollar is pulling back, then we could see a bit of stagnation, stagnancy, whatever the word is, in euro USD, right? So again, just paying attention to the fact that I do have this low of July here that euro GBP hasn't reached yet. And I mean, just look at the chart, guys. I mean, it looks rather strong to the downside, right? EURGBP does look rather strong to the downside. They've been breaking lows, respecting higher sides. They came up here on Friday, swept this high, swept this liquidity here, and then still went on to give you a bearish order block right here, right? EURGBP wants right now, she is completely in position. This is what you call a low resistance liquidity run. Like, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I want to see EURGBP come down to this low. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, literally, you have multiple lows that they would have to break past to get back to this high side, and there's literally no highs. There's nothing in between where price is right now and this sell side liquidity. There's nothing there. So it's just, I just see them at least making a stop here before we see trending higher. And when is that? We have Euro news on Wednesday, but we have everybody important speaks on Friday. So man, this is going to be an interesting week for sure. Definitely excited to hop on the charts with the guild tomorrow and kind of go over what we expect after today's price action. But I definitely think we either going to see consolidation today or some interesting unfolding happen ahead of New York session on Tuesday. But I'll stay out until Tuesday New York session, especially because there's nothing on the economic calendar ahead of Tuesday. A and B, last week Monday was already a very explosive day last Monday, so definitely expect some calm in the markets before Tuesday. Now, with that being said, if I expect a weakness in Euro GBP and potentially weakness in US dollar, right? that would lead me to potentially be looking at strength on GBPUSD. So that's why I say just look out for that, pay attention to that, and we'll come back to that tomorrow. Now, again, the other thing that I want to point out, what is it now? 825. So the other thing I want to point out, looking at something else that is kind of diverging from their cousins, you look at USD Chef, right? USD Chef, we're seeing continued bullishness in USD Chef. You look at AUD USD, bearishness, AUD USD, bearishness, NZD USD, bearishness, Euro USD. But like I just showed you, GBP USD is the odd one out, showing strength to the upside. Another odd one out is USDJPY. And if we look at USDJPY, she might get my attention this week if I'm right about dollar, potential pullback on dollar. So with Euro USD, looking at the monthly time frame, we have the highs of 2022 that are still our target, right? Our main target here is the highs of 2022 Euro USD. We all are agreeing on that. All right, nobody's disagreeing. All right, but just take into account we are at a key level. All right, we have this order block here from 2022, that last up candle before the market sold off. We swept above the highs of July, which was also that order block. All right, so we're seeing them come above the highs of July right now. Bang, just like the dollar. Okay, sweeping above those highs of July. And they are respecting this order block, right? So if this is that order block right here, right? If you'll notice, if I put my 50% measurement, they as long as they respect the halfway point of this order block is valid, right? So as of right now, they came up into it and they've shown displacement, right? Displacement meaning strength. So we've shown strength with this wick here on this level, which is again also the highs of July. And looking back the past 20 days or so, 30 days, just looking at the last month before July, because July was the last completed month. Like right now is August 20th. August isn't done yet. So July was the last completed month. So 30 days before July is the month of June, right? And just looking at the high to the low of June, we are very much attacking that premium. And we could, like I said, highs of July, premium levels, weekly order block. We're definitely at a key resistance area on this chart. All right, now when I look at that and I go to the lower time frame, along with everything I just showed you on DXY, we also have them just gave us an order block out of this level. So now going into Monday, what I can anticipate is potentially strength from this order block, because they already traded below it here and then back into it to a degree here. All right, so if we're going to see strength away from this, remember, price is always going to be delivering to one of two levels at all times. All right, it's either going to be delivering to an area of liquidity or an area of imbalance. All right, so what you want to look for is okay, cool, price just delivered to an area of liquidity. Well, if I'm still bullish on price, where's an area of imbalance that price might want to deliver to and rebalance before continuing higher? Got a fair value gap right here. That's an area of imbalance. Got another one right here. Oops. Got another one right here. All right, so those are two levels that I can pay attention to, right, for price to rebalance to. And then from there, it's just a matter of, paying attention. I mean, here is the price swing that took us above this high. When I want to go for, I'll throw my fib on there, optimal trade entry would say that this would be an ideal level for them to trade back down into for us to go higher. All right, boom. So I'm gonna, if we do see this bearishness play out, which again, it's happening, right? you guys know that I'm looking at potentially 142.92 on USDJPY. And the steepest, like if it's just a small retracement, 144.36, which from where we're at right now, it's about 100 pips to the downside at that steep level. And if they go for a deeper retracement, that's about 230 pips, right? So again, the thing is that I could see this weekly candle, and I can get rid of this now. You guys can just watch the recording for those levels, all right? But looking at this weekly candle, again, this is that last down candle here before price traded higher, which is that order block. Boom. All right. And we've seen price already trade above that, trade back into it, and respect it. So I'll take that into account. But if the weekly candle is going to, be a bullish candle, it still has to trade down lower to somewhere. All right. And so that's why I just pointed out those two levels. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a bearish candle this week. But when I have an overall bias of bullishness, but we just reached key levels, those are the times where I become very picky. You feel me? Last week, it was easy to just be like, okay, yeah, like I'm going to buy as soon as we come into my key levels. But you want to be aware of when price comes into key levels, such as the high of July, and it is showing signs of going against your overall bias, which is bullishness. You feel me? So it's either you want to be aware and stay out of the market until you see the market come back down into a discount, or you want to be aware and participate in the potential retracements back into that, or trade whatever is in alignment with that bias. You feel me? So that's why I pointed those out. So UJ kind of has my attention for this week based on what's going on, diverging from the other currencies, GBPUSD, and then just being patient with the news releases coming out. So again, we're not going to really see nothing crazy going on until Tuesday, 10 a.m., which is London close. So yeah, that's what we will be paying attention to ahead of tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll be able to go a lot more in depth when I do the market prep. Last thing I'll do real quick outside of those is take a look at my darling NASDAQ. What a girl. So nasty NASDAQ has started to make her appearance on these sell-offs that we've been talking about for almost forever, right? And we see that she has came up into the highs of 2022. She didn't take the highs, but came up into this fair value gap, came up into this order block. And we are now finally starting to see some weakness after this major run all of 2023, which I've been saying all year has been massive manipulation. You feel me? That's my opinion. Now, if you pay attention to where NASDAQ came down into, we have this gap that we've been talking about for a few weeks now that NASDAQ has just now came down into. Now, don't forget, though, NASDAQ has been very strong this year. You feel me? Very strong. And on a higher time frame, we just came down into a major discount level. Super major. Super important discount level. I mean, looking back at, again, June, which was our last about 30 days or so, if I throw my high to the low, June, we are legitimately at one of the best discounts that you could get on that type of price action for potential bullishness. You feel me? Now, again, on a higher time frame, we know there's a lot going on as far as where we're coming from over here. But same thing as the dollar, man. It's like you can't just drop forever. And they've been selling off now since the beginning of July, and seeing bearishness since the beginning of August, and seeing bearishness since the beginning of July. At least give us a pullback up to the equilibrium or up into premium so that we can see continued sell-offs, right? Again, you want to see price delivering to levels of discount from areas of premium. And we came from this mitigation candle here and saw them sell off into this discount gap. see them at least give a pullback either up into this level here or this high here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, right? But I don't want to take more sells from a discount PD array. Like that just doesn't make sense. So looking at NASDAQ, similar as what I just put down about the dollar. Let's look at what last week's price action was. So this was last week right here. Cool. So that was about last week. Looking at the premium and discount of last week. Bang. Yeah, I would want to see price come back at least above this 15 level before I start looking to continue taking sells on NASDAQ. So that's what I'll keep as my level, and I'll put an alert on that. And we'll see what it's looking like going into the week. Yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. But it would be beautiful continued sell-offs. We've been talking about this for a while now, and just looking at the higher time frame, whenever we do get more confirmations on bearishness, seeing them break past this. Oh, sorry guys, that's very ugly. Seeing them break past this previous breaker, right? Seeing them break past that, that'll be a nice confirmation for sells to this sell side liquidity. So that's kind of where they're at. Again, super key level. So I could see some buy opportunities, short-term buy opportunities on NASDAQ this week. Like I said, coming up into that 15.15 or even higher up to that 15.18, depending on what dollar and bonds wants to do. USD CAD, you said? I'll take a look at her real quick, but it's similar to what I was pointing out on UJ. UCAD has traded up into what we pointed out last week on the market prep video, which was this fair value gap from the major sell-off over here. But the next major high on USD CAD is the highs of May up here. Out of all the pairs, USD CAD has been so strong on bullishness. No cap. Like if you was looking for any sells on USD CAD, yes, it's a wrap. It's been a wrap as far as that goes. Hold on, let me clear some stuff off here. Yes, so looking at the daily and the weekly, UCAD came up to the medium threshold of this order block from May, and they have respected it so far. So that's a good sign, but I wouldn't want to take anything against UCAD. UCAD is the strongest of everybody right now as far as bullishness goes. I need that to stay on my chart. Below. Right, so yeah, we see some strength, some displacement away from that level here. On the 4-hour time frame, we could see that they have. We can see that they have gone ahead and shown displacement away from that level, an order block forming up here at these highs. So of course we can expect for them to potentially trade back down to the nearest level of liquidity, because I don't really see any imbalance, but we do have this sell side here from last Thursday. But like I said, out of all of them, let me tell you this. All right, here's one thing that I've learned paying attention to just a couple mentors of mine and just my own losses and wins in general. If you are looking for bullishness or bearishness in an asset, right? So for example, say that right now, US dollar is at, you know, this key level here, and we expect a potential retracement, not a reversal, but a potential retracement off of this level on US dollar. You're going to have the hardest time trying to sell the strongest asset. You feel me? The weakest asset in that direction, right? As of right now, USD CAD is showing the most strength to the upside. You feel me? So I would prefer to take sells on the asset that's showing the most strength to the sell side. You feel me? Not to say that USD CAD won't show any bearishness, but like imagine in all this, for example, let's go to GU, right? GU, for example, has shown the least amount of strength to the downside. Imagine looking for sells on GU last week. Let's look at it here. All right. Last week was here. All right. So even though the dollar was bullish last week, GU was also bullish last week as the, you feel me, lead as the weaker asset between GU and EU that continue to sell off. So similar to like what I'm saying about USD CAD is like, I mean, I like the fact that we could see bullishness on bearishness on the DXY higher time frame, but USD CAD not really the one that's showing me the strength that I would want to see to the downside. Look at USDJPY, right? USDJPY is showing bearishness since last Wednesday. So I would want to pay attention to the asset that is the leadership asset in that direction. So personally, I'm not going to be paying attention to USD CAD sells, right? USD CAD, again, buys on USD CAD, but bullishness on USD CAD, bullishness on USD Chef. But then when I look at USDJPY, USDJPY is the leader asset as far as bearishness goes. So I'm going to want to put my attention on the one that looks like it's going to give me the easiest amount of time on that potential sell-off. You feel me? So I hope that makes sense. But like I said, I'm expecting bearishness at least to start the week off on dollar. If I see the week to tomorrow start off with bullishness, if I see the week start off with bullishness and respect these premium levels, then I'll expect the entire week to give us bearishness.
Hey guys, no mistake, Maverick here at 2 a.m. in the morning in the do-rag to make sure that these videos are perfect for you. All right, if you made it to the end of this video, clearly you've gotten some value, so leave us a comment, like the video, and subscribe. We really appreciate if you share the mission, because our goal is to empower entrepreneurs and professionals, whether they're working a career full-time or running a business full-time, to make a reliable income through day trading currencies and indices. Okay, we have a weekly market outlook that releases on this channel. We do it live in our community, so feel free to join our free community so you can get access to stuff like this live. Okay, other than that, we have videos coming out on this channel to go ahead and educate. We have a free mini course in the description that you can get access to right now, and plenty of other value on the way. So you guys have a great one, and see you on the next video here on the Traders Guild.